If I've learned anything about live 3D audio, is that there are very few right or wrong ways to do it. So much depends on the size of the venue and the nature of the musical experience being attempted. I was surprised by how little prescriptive information exists on ways to deliver a live performance in 3D audio, but I was very impressed with the places that are pioneering this exciting new art form. I also spoke with Dave Phelps, audio technician with the informatics department at IUPUI, about ways to use our music auditorium's surround sound system. It came down to basically two ways. Either use the existing Dolby 5.1 surround electronics, like the AC3 decoder, or be prepared to use something that is completely pre-rendered. By that, I mean something that requires no decoding whatsoever. It can be done, but there is no one right way to do it. The established ways of performing surround sound are not really that established, in his opinion. With that in mind, I began to search for information on how surround sound was being performed live on a national and international scale, and I found some very interesting places. I was particularly impressed with how advanced New York City is in this department. One New York performer named Zemi17 put it this way: "Surround sound is more common in the film and gaming worlds, and that's where much of its advancements have taken place. But there are a number of people using the concept in music, sound, and art. The way sound interacts with its environment can be affected by echoes, technology, and placement of speakers. Many prefer to work in prepared environments with sounds created beforehand specifically for multiple channels, often exclusively for the individual spaces. The spaces themselves can become spectacles, and sometimes visual and physical elements are used in tandem with these sounds. So for the most part, my research in live 3D performances is a study of buildings, theaters, and unique spaces that are home to largely experimental music using unusual ways of presenting it acoustically. A place in Brooklyn, New York, called the IUPUI Project Room, uses a 15-channel system of hemisphere speakers that are designed to address the sweet spot issue. Each hemisphere is hung from the ceiling, and one speaker pointing down towards the audience and 5 pointing sideways on a circular stage. One artist placed 15 microphones in a coffin and then buried it, played the recording on the system so that the sounds of dirt rained over the audience. Another played a custom guitar where each string was directed to a separate channel. Surround sound can get pretty intense. The Klang Dome Sound Dome at the Center of Art and Media in Germany has 40 speakers in a half sphere, all pointed towards the center. Then there's the audio battlefield at the Missouri University of Science and Technology that uses 64 speakers and 4 subwoofers to prepare unexperienced troops for the oral environment of war zone. But the Allosphere of the University of California at Santa Barbara tops that by far. It's a 3-story sphere where users walk onto a catwalk suspended in its center to be immersed inside 500 speakers. It also uses projectors that display a 360-degree environment all around them. Artists work there, but it's also used by scientists and engineers. The Allosphere is an extreme example of an immersive environment, but the artists are definitely working to combine musical compositions for multi-channel systems with synchronized visuals. Robert Henke, otherwise known as Mono Lake, is one such person. He has a show called Adam with a visual artist named Christopher Bowder. Adam uses a 4-channel system, and the music is matched to the movement of 64 glowing orbs, which the audience is seated around. Another show is the Cinechamber, which was built by Recombinant Media Labs. It's a mobile environment that sets up different locations where viewers are wrapped in projections and surrounded by sound. Different artists are chosen to create the content for each showing. I've covered many of these venues in my links in this section of my research. I would also be remiss if I did not mention a link to Auxilog 2, which was pioneered by Dr. Scott Deal here at IUPUI using Internet 2 and telematics technology for a very unique media experience. Finally, I have a link to my own visual interpretation of an original composition done by Jamie Wynn, graduate student at IUPUI pursuing her Master's of Science in Music Technology. This piece was mixed in surround sound on a Mac using Logic Pro 9 Studio and a bunch of sound libraries. Since I'm a flight attendant and spend so much time in the air, I tried to compose an artistic visual experience to accompany Jamie's ethereal soundtrack. I hope you like it.